Hello. Who's that? I don't know. We have 4 great movies for you today. So, yes, absolutely. You know, at one point in this festival, we used to program 14 films, but there was almost no time in between to eat or do anything. And so we reduced it. And this year we actually had 13, counting sort of the tribute, but we knew that was shorter. So today is the day that we had to really push all of the films in, not push, it's like we scheduled the 4 films together. But before we start, I have something. All of you know that Nate Cohen has been with the festival right from the beginning, but he is sometimes too shy to come out. So I wanted him to come out. Will you please give him some applause?
Thank you. I'm taking lessons from Chaz in how to be less shy. So, thank you.
You wouldn't believe, and he runs away. You wouldn't believe that actually sometimes I am shy, but Roger taught me how to make it seem like you're not. But so anyway, that's why I wore his scarf today, because I felt I needed a little bit more of a. This is my security blanket today, so I'm feeling just that I need a little bit more of his presence. Last night, we went to karaoke, and somebody, you know, people are always asking me when I'm being interviewed, tell me something you don't know about Roger. And I forgot to tell them that he actually loved karaoke. I know that there is something on the internet of Roger and Haskell Wexler singing. Haskell Wexler on a film festival crew singing union songs. And so we're going to post that on. But what I haven't been able to find is Roger singing Blue Suede Shoes. So if someone is like really YouTube and savvy and find it, will you let me know? And because I would like to post Roger's singing Blue Suede Shoes on our website. This morning, we have a film from Argent. You know, someone said sometimes some of our films are, when we talk about films that illuminate the human condition, that sometimes some of them are sad. This time, we really haven't had a lot of sad films, but we wanted to make sure this morning that we started you out laughing. So we have Wild Tales, the film from Argentina that had an Academy Award nomination. And afterwards, we have the actress Julieta Zilberberg and the casting director Javier Breyer from Argentina with us. But we wanted to show you something quickly about the person who's going to be on stage with the film afterwards. It's Michael Barker, who is the co-president of Sony Pictures Classics, and he has been such a friend of the festival. And because he's so, sort of modest when he's here, you don't know that over the years, they have actually had over 158 Academy Award nominations, his company, and he and his co-president, Tom Bernard, personally choose all of those films that they have. They've had 41 Independent Spirit Awards and 22 Golden Globe Awards. And instead of telling you about some of these films, we wanted to give just a little bit of to show how well they did last year. We have a little bit of a brief thing about Michael Barker from Cannes. James Bond, will you roll it, please? Even the really big studios don't have a Cannes like that. He had the best Cannes. Michael Barker, will you please come out?
You stay here.
Oh.
Hi. I was never meant to look that big on the screen. I want Chaz to stay out here for a minute. But before I start, when you go outside, there's a tent. and in the tent are all of these booths. And at the back of the tent are these two enterprising young girls, ladies, who are selling these little cards. These girls are amazing, these little girls. I want you, after this movie, to go into that tent, but you have to go way in the back to find them, and you will be very gratified. So I'm asking you to do that. It's for a charity. It's a charity tent, and they have different booths in there. Okay. I want Chaz to be out here because I've now seen like 3 or 4 times that little opening trailer, and it's so moving. It's very moving. But it kind of allows us a moment to reminisce, and I would like to reminisce for a minute. One of the reasons I want to reminisce is I remember when Roger was here, there would always be that moment, and it would either be Friday night or Saturday morning when he would stop and he would come out and he would say, "We have a lot of friends in the room, you know," and he would say, "Michael Barker's in the room," and I'd feel so good, you know. He would say, "Werner Herzog's in the room," and it was such a warm and engaging feeling. And I have been coming here since 2000, or maybe 2001. And when we met and spent time at film festivals, Roger wrote so much, but he was a man of very few words, talking conversationally, except telling tall stories, which he would do and I would do. And our relationship was basically about books, because he and I felt if we talked too much about movies, he thought maybe I was shilling him for a movie, or he was not going to like one of my movies, and that would be an awkward situation. So we always talked about books. And he asked me to come here. I came just as a visitor for the first few years. And the thing about Roger, I think he designed everything for the future. He planned he saw everything. He saw this moment right here. He saw this moment when you look at this theater and you say to yourself, there are many people in the world that would say right now, what's happening here and in this theater is an obsolete thing. Well, it's not obsolete, because this viewing experience is more urgent than ever, and the urgency of the importance of Ebertfest is more urgent than ever, and I think he predicted that importance. So after a couple of years, he would call me and he said, if you're coming this year, I'd really like you to introduce La Dolce Vita. I said, Roger, I'm not a film critic. I can't introduce La Dolce Vita. I talk to exhibitors every day, you know. And he said, no, I want you to do it. So I did it, and then the year after, he says, I want you up there on the stage with Errol Morris. And then a year after that, he says, I want you with Ang Lee. I want you with this. I want you with that. And over the years, it happened very organically, and I didn't even realize it. But I feel like in Ebertfest, I kind of found my voice, and it has been an amazing experience. And when I come here this year, people stop me in the street. So many of you stopped me right outside. Oh, we were here when you did this many years ago, when you did that, and you're articulate and you're this. And I never felt I had that kind of skill. And it's really Ebert, although it used to be called the Overlook Film Festival, and I said, Roger, it really kind of gives me, it kind of scares me about my future career, because you pick all my films and they're all overlooked, you know. And I'm like, he says, I've been thinking about that. I think maybe we should change that. So I was really relieved they changed the name of the festival. But I don't mean to go on, but I just, this is an amazing thing that has happened here, both personally and professionally. And one of the keys, and he told me this from the very beginning, he said the Overlook Film Festival is different from all over film festivals everywhere for one reason. And I said, well, what's the reason? And he says, it's a profound reason, and people don't notice it, but because I've gone to so many festivals, it's basically only one movie is shown and no other movies are shown at the same time. That doesn't happen at any other festival. So what happens is you have a movie like Wild Tales where you can focus on the film and celebrate the film, and there is nothing else in your brain for the next 2 hours but this film. And that is how you can get films to really give meaning to life, to be able to focus and pay attention to the glory of something that in our normal everyday lives we would just go and let pass. And that is just an amazing thing. And I'm really, and so many other people are really grateful that this is continuing, and there's no question he's here with us every minute of every day of this festival. And that's because of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, now just about Wild Tales, very briefly. You know, again, yesterday I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how am I going to introduce Wild Tales? Because this is one funky film. I mean, yesterday, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. I was accosted by someone who didn't like it yesterday, but then I had a chat with them, and then they liked it better. That's why Roger didn't want to talk about film with me. So yesterday I was watching that brief, the precursor of the films talking about Roger, and I said to Nate afterwards, oh my God, Roger's got a line in this little trailer that is totally, in a nutshell, tells you the glory of what Wild Tales is. So Nate last night sent me, I said, I need to find that line because I tried to write it down the last time I saw it and it went too fast and I couldn't remember it all. So he sent me the line, and I want to read it to you because showing this film, there is no question Roger's in the room. Here's what he says, and you'll see it again when they show the clip before. I love movies that are totally unpredictable, that make changes I cannot anticipate, to take me to a destination I could not see anywhere on the horizon at the beginning of the film. I call these movies alive. And that, in a nutshell, is what this film is. Damian Schifrin is a major filmmaker. For my money, this guy gives Sergio Leone and Quentin Tarantino a run for their money as far as raw energy and freshness. And I remember the first time I saw it, I thought, oh my God, it's like watching the birth of a new Buñuel. It's a very acerbic comedy. There are moments in the film and vignettes in the film where you feel like you're watching a Roadrunner cartoon as if it was a live-action movie. And you're really in for a treat. And afterwards, we will be talking to Juliette Silberberg, who stars in the second story. There are 6 stories. And the casting director, Javier Breyer. And we will have a surprise as well after the movie, so please stay. So enjoy Wild Tales. Thank you.